Welcome back to Off the Docks. Today we are going to be reviewing Superman.
Yes.
We have both seen Superman multiple times, and we're just going to be talking about that. That's it. That's all we're doing today. We're going to review Superman and give our scores out of 10. We're going to give a basic review at first, then we'll switch to a spoiler talk, and then we'll talk about other DC news at the end of the episode. So for now, uh, what is your score, Snowcon, for Superman?
Ooh, I kind of avoid scoring movies nowadays. I don't know. I haven't really thought of a score. I think if I had to sum it all down, probably like 8.5. I think it would be an 8.5 or a 9 for me because it is just such a fun Superman comic book movie that it's just everything I wanted in a Superman. And I have a couple of gripes here and there, but nothing that ruins the experience for me. So yeah, I would probably give it an 8.5 or a 9. Ask me tomorrow. Might tell you something different. I don't know.
I think that is a perfect score. You know why? Because it's my score. I
What?
also think this movie is like an 8.5. Um I have some like minor gripes about it, but I think for the most part this is the most comic booky movie DC's ever made,
Absolutely. Without a
and
doubt.
I love it so much for that. It really feels like the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, or like
Yes.
it feels like that early 2000s DC animated universe of shows. Like
It's not afraid to be weird as shit, and I love that.
yes, exactly. And I love that I said this in my like quick like Twitter review thing, but it really feels like this movie was James Gunn's way of just like grabbing somebody by the shirt and screaming in their face. Like, this is DC Comics. Like,
Yeah.
this is not Christopher Nolan's DC. This is
Yeah.
DC. Like, we are not going to shy away from things to try to make it more realistic or anything. Like, this is DC. Like, we're gonna have aliens. We're gonna have weird little planets. There's mentions of all kinds of weird stuff like intergalactic zoos and pocket universes and all kinds of weird shit in this movie. Like, they went all out, and I was
It is
so happy with that.
it's unapologetically weird and comic booky and crazy, and it just throws you in the shit, and I love that. It doesn't try to like work around some weird stuff. It's like, or try too much to explain something. It's just like, no, this is just the rules of the universe you're in. Deal with it. There's weird aliens, there's mind controlled monkeys, there's just crazy crap. And I love it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I agree. This movie does have some minor problems. There aren't,
Yes.
nothing that ruins the movie for me. There is one story decision that I am still struggling with that
Yeah.
we will get into in the spoilers. Um,
I will
James
say,
Gunn
I
has
think,
since commented on it. The way that it worked in
yeah.
the movie worked for me, but it leaves
Yes.
me with a lot of questions about the universe as a whole that I am
Okay. Yeah.
kind of weary about. I'll just say that. We'll talk about it in the spoilers, but basically there's some very minor story issues. I do think the movie would have benefited from being a little longer. I would have liked to see some more of the
I
kind
agree.
of relationships between all the characters. Like, I love that we're just dropped into this world and it's like Clark already knows everybody and everybody's friends, and but I do kind of wish we could have seen a little more of like the relationships between the people at the Daily Planet, or a little more of Clark and his parents, or things like that.
I think that is my biggest gripe is that I don't think we spend enough time with the Daily Planet side of the story, especially when they become like really integral to the ending of the movie. But you don't spend a whole lot of time there, especially with like Clark's relationship with them. I would
Yes.
have liked that more. Also, the structure in the editing feels weird, and when we get into the spoiler stuff, I think there's an explanation for that. But it just feels very jarring going from like scene to scene sometimes, where it feels like something is either missing or there was a weird restructure in the edit closer to the release of the movie.
I
That's just how
agree.
I feel.
I agree. There is at least two moments off the top of my head that I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It just plays weird in the edit, and like I said, it's not like movie ruining or anything. It's just it felt weird. And the story decision that you've talked about, obviously without spoiling it, I agree that it was really jarring for me, and I didn't know how to feel about it. I think after seeing it the second time and really like stewing in it, I like the decision. I think it's an interesting take, and I think that if that's how it stays, then great, because it works well with what the movie's going for by the end. But also, if it happens to come out that, that's not what actually happened and there's more to explain, then cool. I'm I'm open to that too. So I don't know. I'm not as strongly against it now than I was when we first saw the movie. But yeah, my main gripes are in like the editing and some of the fleshing out of the background characters.
Yes, I agree. Um, Pretty much everything you said is exactly how I feel.
Yeah,
That story decision we were talking about, it within the contained film itself, I'm okay with it. Like
yeah,
the way that it pays off in the end, and that especially like after seeing it multiple times, I do
yeah.
feel a lot more comfortable with it. But it still leaves me a lot of questions for the Supergirl movie coming up and a lot of other stuff. Um, so
That's fair.
I am curious about the ramifications of those decisions later. So that's I'm a little weary about it, but I'm still like I like this movie and the way it worked in this movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm not gonna like, be like boycott James Gunn. But like yeah, there is something in this movie that is kind of bothering me, but it's not enough for to like ruin the movie for me. And
Yeah, it
then
was very bold decision.
I really liked the way that they introduced the kind of, well, the Justice Gang, I guess, but it's kind of set
Yeah.
up for the future Justice League.
Yeah.
And I liked all those characters. I love the actors playing them. And same thing with the Daily Planet. I think all the side characters in this movie are great. I
Oh
just
yeah,
wish
they
we
were
had a
great.
little more of them. And that's really my
I,
only issue. With like my only big issue with the movie is that, like you said, there are some editing moments where it's like, oh, okay, we're just gonna move on.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also I feel like, damn, we could have done with like 20 more minutes of story in this movie. Like,
I do feel that. Yeah. When it comes to the Justice Gang, I really loved their portrayal, but I do think Hop Girl kind of got short-ended.
yes, I
Like
agree. She doesn't really have much
Guy,
to do.
yeah, Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific are like the two standouts, and then she's kind of just there until the end when she gets to shit. But I would have liked a little more from her character. Maybe she got left on the cutting room floor. I don't.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do wonder if maybe there was more with her that they cut out, maybe for, like pacing purposes. But
Feel like it's possible. Yeah.
I will say, what's weird is I think the pacing of this movie is its greatest strength and its greatest weakness. And it's
Yeah.
kind of sounds weird to say, but like I think that this
I feel that.
movie
Yeah.
flows so well. If you're taking, kids or whatever, they'll be entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy stuff going on the whole time. It doesn't really let up that much. I think there's maybe two scenes in the whole movie where it slows down.
Yeah. It does not
So,
let up.
I mean, like it's very like insane. It's very adrenaline heavy. And I think that is one of its best strengths because it leaves you in this great like action-packed summer blockbuster mood. But I
Yeah.
do think the emotional weight of the movie's undercut by that a little bit because there's a lot of moments where I'm like, I kind of wish they had let that breathe a little longer.
I don't know because for me, the emotional weight of the movie is its greatest strength. Honestly, like I felt really connected to these characters, and I feel like specifically with a couple of I don't know, like with there's very little Superman and Lois scenes in the movie, but by the end, I still like really felt like their connection, and I think separating them for a chunk of the movie helps that for me, anyways. That's how I felt, and I don't know, especially with the stuff at the end with, and the emotional scene we've seen in the trailer with Pa Kent, like that's one of the strongest scenes in the whole movie. And I don't know, I don't feel like the emotional bits are played down. I feel like they worked really well, even if I would have liked some more of the movie and some of the side character stuff. I don't feel like the emotion of the movie was cut down. I feel like it's all there.
I don't necessarily mean that like the emotion doesn't work for me. I just mean like I think the emotion would have hit harder if we had more time with those side characters. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily
I don't
think that
know.
they did a
I don't know.
bad job with the relationships or anything. I just would have liked to see more.
I would have liked to see more, but I don't know. It worked for me, so I can't say either one way or the other. Like, yeah, more of it would have been cool,
I
but
will
as it
say
is, it
though,
worked really well for me.
I will say that despite feeling like that, I think one of the best scenes in the entire movie is Lois and Clark talking to each other in Lois's apartment.
Yeah,
That
that first scene you get between the two, yeah.
Yes, the scene you see in the trailers of them arguing while she's like kind of interviewing him
Yeah.
is unbelievable. Their chemistry is so good. And the the conversation James Gunn said is like 12 minutes. He's lying, bro. There's no way that scene is it's paced so
It's
well that
it
I
is.
can't wrap my brain around the fact that that's a 12-minute scene. It
It
feels
doesn't
like
feel
it's a
like that.
3-minute argument. Like it does not feel like 12 minutes.
I think it's a perfect representation of both characters and why they butt heads, but also why they work so well together. It's like Superman thinking only about the lives at stake and people are gonna die, and he doesn't represent anyone but himself and doing good, as he says. I love that. Like that is Superman. That is totally what Superman's about. But then from coming from her side, it was just really well written to be like, okay, but like you have to see it from another side where like the stuff he does has consequences whether he likes it or not. And yeah, that whole scene was like very tense, very well written, and the most engaging part of the movie.
I agree. I think that, but that's why I wish we had more of those moments with the other characters because it's like that scene to me was like the standout of the movie. I was like, wow, like I was so invested in their relationship and that argument so fast that I was like, damn, like I could have watched a whole
Yeah,
movie of just Superman and Lois Lane arguing about stuff. Like it was
right.
that good. And
That's right. Yeah,
I
exactly.
I will say that I think honestly Lois was probably the biggest surprise for me in this movie
Yeah.
because traditionally Lois is like she's smart and she helps with stuff, but they don't usually give her that much spotlight in the movies.
In the movies, yeah.
I feel like in this they really let her shine. Like her
Yeah.
character is very important to this movie. And I liked that a
She's
lot
not just a
because
side character.
there's a brief moment where you think they might lean into like the damsel in distress kind of bullshit, and
Yeah.
and then they kind of like hit you with a curveball, and I'll bring that back up in the spoilers so you know exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm assuming you know,
I think I know what you're going for, yeah.
but yeah, there was a moment where I was like, oh god, they're gonna do the we have to save the girlfriend thing that they do in every movie, and then they didn't do
Yeah.
that, and they were just like, no, she's fully capable and she's fine, and she's just,
Yeah.
you know, she's a strong woman, she's doing her job, you know,
She
and I
knows
really
shit.
liked
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Also, another huge standout for me was Jimmy. Jimmy
Dude,
Olsen was so funny in this movie.
he was the curveball for me. I was not expecting to love him as much as I did.
I thought they were gonna do more of like a dorky, kind of cutesy, nerdy Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, like classic Jimmy Olsen, like,
And there's like
OG Superman movies.
yeah, and there's like little elements of that in there.
Sure. Yeah.
But overall, his character is so much funnier than I thought he was gonna be.
Yeah, the
I
running
was
joke
like,
they
oh my
have
god,
is so good.
yes,
That whole movie, it's so good. Yeah. And that's the thing that I love about James Gunn is whether it be characters like Jimmy Olsen or even weird ass characters that no one knows about like Metamorph, they get their spotlight and he's able to write them in such a humanized and relatable way that you just can't help but fucking love them.
absolutely, yeah. I that was um my brother's favorite character in the movie was Metamorpho. And I
Yeah,
was like, what do you mean Metamorpho is your favorite character? Like, how is that?
exactly.
But I was like, I loved him in the movie. So at the
Yeah,
same time, I was kind of
exactly.
like, really? That's your favorite character? But also, I was like, no, I kind of get it because
I
he's
get it.
he's not in the entire movie. You know, he's not like he
No,
doesn't get as much screen time as like Mr. Terrific does. But the
no.
scenes that he's in are really fun and really inventive and really cool. And
He's a complete scene
his
stealer.
backstory is good. And also, shout out to Anthony Carrigan, dude, because people do not give him
Dude,
enough love. Every DC role this man plays, he crushes.
he's amazing
He was
as
my
Zaz in Gotham.
favorite part of the Gotham series for a lot of those
Yeah,
episodes. Like, if he was in an
he's
episode, I
so
was like,
good.
oh, this is going to be a banger. Like, I automatically knew.
Exactly, dude.
He
Exactly.
is so charismatic and just like so fun to watch. Also, I watched Barry on HBO. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen that
I need
show.
to see that. I haven't, but I know he's in it. And
He is in that show and he is so funny and his character is hysterical.
oh my god.
So yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick because I don't think that guy gets enough love. I think he's about to be in Twisted Metal, the Peacock
Oh,
series. You just cut out really bad.
oh, hello?
Hello?
Okay, you cut out for a second.
You cut out on my end. It was like mid sentence, it just glitched and you were
Did
gone.
it again. What the fuck? My internet's fine. I don't know. Weird.
I don't know. Mine says it's fine too. I was tripping.
I hate
All right, little hiccup. We're fine.
a
We're
little bit.
back.
Just a little bit.
um,
ah,
but yeah, I just wanted to mention that because a lot of people don't talk about Anthony Carrigan. I think he was an absolute standout for me in this movie. He is
absolutely.
so like sweet as that character, which is kind of wild because you'd expect, you know, they kind of do the same thing that they did with Groot in Guardians 1, where you expect the big monstrous character to be like rough and tough, but it turns out they're
Yeah,
actually this really sweet person. And
exactly. Yeah.
I love that James Gunn does that with the obscure characters. And it's the same thing with Mr. Terrific. I thought
Yes.
Mr. Terrific was so good in this movie. Like, I would watch a Mr. Terrific movie tomorrow. Like,
Absolutely, dude.
I was immediately, we came out of Superman, and I was like, if I don't get a Mr. Terrific movie, I'm going to be upset.
There's a rumor they're making a Terrifics movie, which I really hope is the case
You know, there is a
because
version
I'm
of the
waiting.
Terrifics that Metamorpho is in, so they could do that. They could wrap
That would
that
be
into,
cool.
I think it's like Metamorpho, Plastic Man, and somebody else. But it's like
Oh
DC's
my
version of
god.
Fantastic Four, so it's like all these weird, you know. But it's, I think that
Getting
would be really
plastic,
cool.
man. I need John Mulaney as Plastic Man, and then life is complete.
Dude, if John Mulaney plays Plastic Man, I will be crying on the floor laughing in that theater. I want you to know
It's
that.
so good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah, it looks like some of the newer comics have Metamorpho. That's that would be so cool.
Yeah, I would be very happy if they did that. So, I guess those are our spoiler-free thoughts.
Yes, sir.
I guess let's get into spoilers. So to start it off, I'm going to talk about
Spoiler
the big
warning.
one
Yeah,
because we've
the
been
big
talking
one.
about this story decision the whole time and skirting around it. So,
Yep.
if you guys have not seen the movie, leave now and then come back later. but but leave now because we are going to ruin basically every major thing that happens in the movie right now, and trust me, you
Yeah,
don't
there's
want
a
to
lot
know
of big
about this
stuff.
before you see it because it might affect how you feel going in. So,
Yeah, I mean that's true.
okay, there's your spoiler warning, and we're spoiling. Okay.
Spoilies.
Okay, so the
Spoilies.
big thing that bothered me a lot the first time we saw this movie, and I did get over it in the end, but it was the change they made to Jor-El and what's her name? Laura?
Laura. Yeah.
Yes. So, Superman's biological parents, for those who don't know who we're talking about, they, in their message, when they get the full message, sent Clark to take over Earth, basically.
Yes.
And I don't really like that decision. I know it's been done in some versions of the comics, but the only reason I don't like that decision is because they're going it opens a lot of questions about the rest of the universe that I'm not really
Right.
sure
Yeah.
how I feel about. You know, like they're going with the more tragic Supergirl route for the new Supergirl movie.
True.
And
Yeah.
Supergirl is supposed to be this tragic character who's sad because she lost her whole world, and she's old enough when Krypton is destroyed that she remembers that.
Yeah.
I don't see how I'm sure there will be a way to justify it in the Supergirl movie, but to me it seems weird to, in the first movie in the DC universe, tell us that at the very least the House of L wanted to conquer other planets and rule over them with an iron fist and like make more
Well,
Kryptonians.
to be fair, that's assuming that that is the entire House of Elves plan. That could just be a specific Jor-El and Lara thing, and they're kind of the outliers in even their own house,
That is true.
which
That is true.
I
That's why I
wouldn't
said
be
there
totally
could be a
surprised.
way that they justify it in Supergirl.
Yeah.
But as it sits right now, what we're led to believe is that the Kryptonians were not the best people.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, I find it weird that you would tell us in the first movie of the DCU that the Kryptonians are bad, and then in the next movie we're supposed to feel sad that the Kryptonians are gone.
Yes and no, because I feel like in Supergirl's case, it's not that you're supposed to feel bad that they're gone. It's you feel bad for her because she's a fucking wreck, you know?
Yeah,
Like she's just a complete wreck. She's insanely party girl, like, you know, depressed like person who has lost everything, and it's just like it's easy even if they're not the best people, if that's the route they're going for. If they're not the best people, it's still kind of easy to see like, yeah, it still sucks for her because that was her whole planet. You know, it's kind of, I don't know, it depends on the way they go about it, but I'm into it because of what it means for Superman as a character, and I think that is more important than something down the line, you know?
yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see where that's gonna go and how exactly that's gonna pay off because
Yeah.
I liked what they did with the ending with the video with the Kents and like
Yeah.
doing the whole like would you like to see the footage of your parents, but this time it's his adopted parents that raised him, and it's showing all
Yeah,
these
the
like
whole
nice childhood
wraparound of the
memories, and I thought
story.
that was
Yeah.
great, and I thought the
Yeah.
payoff for that was wonderful. I thought it was really sweet, but I am still like hesitant about what they're going to do with the Kryptonian stuff moving forward. Like, I don't think that they're necessarily going to rush to do Zod again. I'm not sure we'll see Zod in this
No, I
universe
don't
at
think
all.
we'll see.
Um,
Maybe eventually, but not anytime soon.
but it is interesting because it's like, I guess maybe you could go the more like, maybe sort of like Nazi-esque route with Zod, where it's like he sees Clark as like a race traitor because he's siding with the humans.
I mean,
So
that's
you
kind
could
of
do something interesting with that.
traditional. That's kind of what he already does.
Yeah, but usually it's like he has a personal vendetta against Jor-El, and then he
Yeah.
goes to find Clark because he wants to get revenge against Jor-El. But they could go the
Yeah.
route where maybe Zod agreed with Jor-El, and
Maybe.
when he shows up and sees that Jor-El's kid has betrayed everything the Kryptonians stood for, that could be kind of interesting.
That would be interesting.
But that's what I mean. I'm not gonna like be automatically like negative about it and be like, oh, I don't like
Yeah.
this decision. It ruined the movie, blah blah blah. Because I like the way it paid off in the movie, and they could do interesting
Yeah.
stuff with it later. But I did find it interesting that like in every other version of Superman in mainstream media, it's like Jor-El is the good one, the Kryptonians are bad. And then in this case, it's like Jor-El's the bad one? Or maybe all of them are bad?
It feels like they were trying to do the Batman thing where,
Yes.
you have Bruce Wayne idolizing his father and his mother, and then, that really jarring punch to the face where it's like, oh no, he actually, worked for Carmine Falcone and he asked him to kill some guy for him. And it's like, oh my God, so his parents were bad. And it's like, the thing about that though is that you have that setup, and then at the end, it's kind of left way more ambiguous whether that's actually how it went down or not. So you never truly know. And in this movie, it feels like they are doing everything they can to tell you this is real, this is not fake,
Mm-hmm.
this is the real message that you were sent. So it's kind of, it ended up being a little different. But I don't know. I'm all right with it,
I think
depending on how they use it in the future.
yeah, exactly. I think that's where I'm at. As
Yeah.
long as they don't Star Wars it and turn around and just start doing literally anything because they're like, "Oh, people don't like that." Then then I think I'll be okay. Cuz that was like, that was an immediate concern for me was like, when we saw Last Jedi together, I was unsure with a lot of decisions they made in that movie, and I was like, "Oh, maybe they can pay it off in a way that'll make me come around and I'll be like, "Oh, wait, never mind. That was actually fire."
Yeah.
But then they panicked because people didn't like it, and then we got a mess.
Yeah.
So I am hoping that James Gunn is going to stick to his story that he wants to tell. I think I'm probably in the minority of people that are worried about that decision. So it seems like
Yeah.
most people are on board with this version of Superman 100%, and I really love this movie. So if this pays off in a way that I'm like happy with, then that problem will no longer be a problem for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured we'll talk about that first because we were.
I think that's yeah, I mean, it's good to talk about the big negatives up front, I think. Also, the editing problems is not
Yes.
a big deal, but there's a couple scenes that just cut and we're doing something else, and it's like very jarring. And I don't know, the rumor that I heard was that this days of the week structure to it. And I really do feel that when watching the movie. Like this is where the title card was supposed to be, where it says, "Oh, it's Tuesday and now it's Wednesday,"
Yes, I
stuff
agree.
like that.
It
Yeah,
100% does. Because I had heard the same rumor, and I remember we talked about it right after we saw the movie, that I
yeah,
had heard in one of the test screenings that it was edited to be a week in the life of Superman.
yes,
And none of those day cards are there, and you notice it right in the beginning for me.
yeah,
When Superman is fighting the Hammer of Bravia, and he gets
yeah,
shit whipped into the street and he's hurt, and that really nice like falafel guy or whatever helps him up, and
yeah.
like the people are like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done this political bullshit, Superman. And then it just like cuts, and then it's like, now it's Clark going into work, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
Wait a
it's
minute.
like so like okay, we're done now. Like what? He didn't like go after him. What? Okay, weird.
Yeah, it just ends. Like, we don't get an
He just
explanation
stopped.
for what happened after that. We don't get it, like, nothing at all. It just immediately cuts. And I guess it's probably for, like, pacing reasons that they were like, well, we don't need to see a whole nother fight scene because it's not, they're not going to wrap that story up at the beginning.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, it ends either way, so
I think the
it's a
idea they were
weird
going for was that he was too hurt to chase him.
to
So
go
it was
fight
kind
him.
of
Yeah,
just like he had to let him go.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
But yeah, it did. That was the first one that was jarring for me. And then the kryptonite poisoning thing too, because they were
yes, yeah.
immediately like, oh my god, it's gonna take days for him to be better, this is crazy. Then they go see the parents and the parents are worried, and then 30 seconds later he's awake on the porch eating cereal.
Yeah, it's the next day, and it's like, oh, he's fine, I guess.
It literally
It's like,
feels like
okay,
he slept for 3 hours and is 100% fine. Like,
yeah, but then you have that line of Pa Kent saying, "I've never seen you sleep that long." Like, so he clearly was sleeping for a while, but it's like you
yeah,
don't get. It feels like the next day.
I think that was supposed to be like Wednesday, and then there was supposed to be a title card there that says like Saturday, and it's like Clark
Yeah,
woke up,
exactly. It's jumped like a few days. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because it
it's not
does
very
feel
clear in the
like,
edit.
oh yeah, by the way, he's fine. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that was very jarring.
yeah, I agree with that 100%. I felt the exact same way when we watched the movie. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
But okay, I guess. Like, I guess he's fine. Oh my god, yeah, that was the like I said, it's nothing that ruined the experience for me, but and it got better after watching the movie the second time. When I saw it the second time, it didn't feel as jarring because I knew it was coming. So,
yeah, I
but
agree.
after that first watch, it was like, what?
Yeah, the first time we were watching it, there was a couple moments where I was like, oh, okay. But
Yeah,
then
there's a couple in there.
the second and third time I watched it, it flowed better and better. So I wonder if
Yes.
this is going to be one of those issues where it's like the more you watch it, you won't notice it anymore. Because I was
Yeah.
the same way with the Elvis movie with Austin Butler when it
Yeah,
came out. The
exactly.
first
Yeah.
act, the editing was really jarring and like really
It's
wacky and wild. But
the editing and
every
the
time I've
pacing of that is
rewatched the
so weird.
movie since then, it flows so well. But I think
I
it's
need to
just
watch
because
it
my
again.
brain is used to it.
Yeah. I mean,
So
yeah, exactly. Like if if you watch it enough, you'll get used to it and it won't be a problem anymore. So I feel like yeah, that's gonna be how that ends up. Um were there any other like negatives that we um I wouldn't call it necessarily a negative, but greatest plot twist ever. The Ultraman is a Superman clone, which I absolutely called in like the first 30 minutes of the movie.
yeah, I think there's a lot of like casuals that will be surprised by that, but I think the people like us
Yeah.
that are used to the comic booky nonsense are going to immediately clock that. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the same thing at the beginning. They showed it was like, oh, it's like, how are we gonna get in? And then it just like opened, and I
Yeah.
was
And
like,
Lex is with Ultraman.
yes,
And
and I was like, there's why is Ultraman always around? And then I was like, okay, never mind, because like once they brought him into the fortress, I was like, ah, okay, I see what they're doing now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was very obvious, and people theories about it beforehand, anyways, that he was a Superman clone. It happened. It was like, okay, he's a Superman clone. Like, there's no doubt about it. And yeah, by the end of the movie, you get that face reveal. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be the big twist of the movie. So it being a little predictable is fine. But like I said in our spoiler free review, like the movie just does stuff. Like, oh, cloning is a thing in this. Like, Lex Luthor can just clone people. Like,
Yes.
it's not a thing that needs to be over explained. And I guess through that, I want to talk about Lex Luthor in this movie because he is up there with Michael Rosenbaum. He's like almost neck and neck.
I agree.
I loved this Lex Luthor so much. And the fact that they are unafraid to be like, yeah, he just has pocket dimensions and super robots and an alien that's like driving his little platform across
Yeah.
space
I
time,
am
and
99% sure that that was a white Martian.
I'm pretty
I
sure
like
that's
it
what that was
looks
supposed to
like
be.
a white
Yeah.
Martian, so that's what I'm going with for now. That's my theory, is that
He's called
Lex
Mr.
is
Handsome or
already
something.
yes. Also, I saw somebody post, I didn't notice it when we watched the movie, but apparently Lex has a picture of Mr. Handsome on his desk. Like a proud dad. Like
That's so funny. That's one of the best like Easter eggs in the movie. It's
I
the
was
framed photo on his desk.
yeah, once somebody pointed that out, I was like, why the fuck would he want to look at that thing all day?
I know.
But yeah, like I don't know, that I really liked how wacky they went. They were like, we're gonna have a prison in a weird dimension above a an anti-proton river next to a black hole,
Next to a
and
black hole in a pocket dimension.
Metamorpho is in there because we're holding his baby captive. We're gonna have and his weird little green CGI baby, and
It's
then we're
like
gonna
Martian
have
Manhunter looking baby.
yes, and then we're gonna have Metamorpho create the kryptonite to hold Superman captive.
Yeah, like
It was
no
like
like
so
kryptonite's
wacky.
thing, and he can create it. Like I love it. That's what I loved so much about Guardians too, is that like it's just it's just there. There's no need for over explaining shit. It's just like this is the universe, deal with it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I said that in my like immediate reaction on Twitter was like, or X, I guess. But
God, don't
I'm
even.
old. I call it Twitter.
Everyone calls it Twitter.
But yeah, no, they well, I immediately posted that thing about James Gunn. Like it feels like he's just yelling, "This is DC" for 2 hours.
Yes.
Like it just feels like you're just slam dunked into this tank with all this weird shit going on. Like
Yeah.
there's no like
Unapologetically
breathing
comic book.
time. There's no like, hey, just so you know, this is gonna be weird. It's just immediately like, oh yeah, Superman robots and Crypto the dog are saving Superman, and we're in the Fortress of
Crypto the
Solitude that's
dog.
keyed to his DNA, and Crypto can speak to open the door, and then then we're gonna magnify sunlight to heal Superman, and then he's gonna go fight
Right.
some super guy, and it was like it was immediately like so comic booky.
No holds barred, and I love it. He's unafraid to just be a comic book movie. And yeah, like that's so funny. Like you have one line in the movie about crypto being like a foster situation or whatever he says, but it's like there's no explanation as to why a dog has Superman powers. It's just like he's there. That's
Yeah,
just
and then it's
a
like,
Superman dog.
and you know what? I just watched Kevin Smith on his podcast was
Yeah.
talking about the Superman movie and why he liked it.
Hmm.
And he said that, and it was the same thing that I left the theater thinking about, is in this movie, there is one line that perfectly explains who this Superman is.
Right.
And it was the moment that he leaves to turn himself in.
Yeah.
Because he says, maybe they'll take me wherever they took the dog.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else to find him. And Lois is like, it's a dog. Like, it's a fucking dog, dude. And he looks at her and says, I know, and he's not even really a good one.
Good one. Yeah. Such a good line.
But he's alone and he's probably
Yeah.
scared. And
Yeah.
it was that moment that I was like, holy shit, like this guy's got it. That was the moment that I was like,
Yeah.
David Cornsweet is Superman. Like,
Yeah.
holy fuck. And I
Honestly,
thought
yeah.
he was so good the rest of the movie. But that moment when he said that, and like also seeing him try to save the kaiju instead of just punching through it and killing it, or um like when he saves the squirrel and the dog in the fight with the kaiju, I was like, okay, but hearing him say that, like, I don't even like this fucking dog, but I know he's scared and he's alone and no one else will
Yeah.
help him, so I have to. And I was
Right.
like, hell yeah, like that is
That's
that is
Superman,
perfect.
dude. And I can't believe that test audiences didn't want that squirrel scene in there, and I'm so glad James got that and kept the squirrel scene in, because that's exactly like, no matter if it's a giant kaiju or a little dog or a tiny squirrel, like, he cares about life and he does whatever he can to preserve and save life. And that's just his character. And so they really do a great job illustrating in this movie, and I think it is probably one of the best adaptations to take that seriously and do something with it that is meaningful and has purpose in the movie itself. Because while Superman does go through an arc, like, that's not part of the arc. Like, that is always who he is going to be, and I love that.
I agree. All right, is that all the negatives?
I think that's
I
all
think we went
the
through all
Mr.
the
Negatives that I
negatives.
have.
No, Mr. Negative's Marvel, sir.
Oh, okay. Negative Zone? No, it's still Marvel.
um all right then. I guess we will talk about the big DC news then.
Okay.
All right, moving on to DC news. We have some news about the DCU. So, we have not done the podcast in a very long time. Uh, and
You can say that again.
and I don't believe we talked about any of the DCU stuff in any major way yet. So,
Nope.
we'll talk about the most recent news ish, like, stuff that's come out within the last few months. So, we know for sure that the Clayface movie is in pre-production.
Wild.
We are getting a Clayface horror movie that is Mike Flanagan's script, I believe.
Yes, Mike Flanagan is writing the movie,
If you
which
don't know
is
who Mike Flanagan
absolutely
is,
not.
he did a series of horror series for Netflix, and he did The Haunting of Hill House was like the first big one. That one blew up like crazy. We watched that
Yes.
series. I thought that series was really
Yeah.
cool.
Fantastic.
I have not seen any of his other shows since then. I need to get on that. But I did
Yes, you
really
do.
like Haunting of Hill House. I thought it was really cool. He just wrote a script that has been approved. It's greenlit at DC to make a Clayface horror movie that is, as far as we know, a part of the DCU.
That is what is being reported. Yeah, that is part of the DCU, which is pretty insane that we're getting a Clayface movie so soon. But I believe it wasn't part of the plan, and then Mike Flanagan came in and pitched it to him, and it kind of just, they fast tracked that thing and greenlit it. And I'm excited as hell for this because Mike Flanagan is one of my favorite horror directors today. Like, he is up there in probably my top three. Um, Haunting of Hill House was incredible and one of my favorite TV shows of all time, I think. Like, it is, to me, is that good. It was incredible. And everything he's done after that is also incredible. I love Midnight Mass. That was a great one. his newest one, Fall of the House of Usher. That was another really great Edgar Allan Poe adaptation. And also Oculus, which is a movie I had seen before when it came out. Like it came out way before Haunting of Hill House ever did. But I had no idea who that was made by and that it was the same guy until like way later. Oculus is really great too. Um, but him doing a body horror movie about Clayface really excites me. I think that the rumor about what the story is going to be fascinates me. It's kind of a mix between a classic Clayface and like Golden Age Clayface. And I'm really excited for that.
So, one thing I wanted to bring up is that James Gunn has been playing very coy with the idea of Batman appearing in something before his own movie.
Yes.
What do you think the odds are that we will get a Batman cameo in some capacity in Clayface?
So I know you haven't seen Creature Commandos, but they essentially they have a Batman cameo in that, but it is a very quick like silhouette shot of him.
Yeah,
And I think it's gonna be, if anything, it's gonna be something similar to that. I think it'll be a very contained movie like Joker was, where it'll only be hints of Batman lore, maybe. Otherwise, it'll be pretty separate.
that's fair. That's fair. Do you think the movie ends with Clayface just on the loose as a monster?
Yeah,
Or do you think it will end with his first encounter with Batman as like a cliffhanger?
I believe it'll just end without any Batman. I think, like I said, it's possible that he encounters Batman and it's like a quick silhouette shot, and there's not a whole lot to it. It's very vague, but I would have to guess because of where Clayface ends up in Creature Commandos, because this is an origin story. So I think it's safe to assume that he's not like going to jail or anything. They're not like imprisoning him. So
That's
I
fair. That's
believe
fair. I didn't really think about
it'll be
that.
pretty open ended.
It has to be a prequel to Creature Commandos, so Clayface is still
Yeah,
on the
Clayface is
loose.
also in Creature Commandos, which
Okay,
I'm imagining this is going to be the same version of the character.
fascinating.
Yeah, it's very interesting direction to go, but I'm kind of into it. I think doing something like a Clayface movie is strange, and I like it.
I really like that James Gunn is playing his universe that way. Like if somebody comes in with a script that's good enough that doesn't affect like other plans they have, he'll just allow it to be in the universe if it's good. And I
Yeah,
think that that's
exactly.
really smart because it opens the door for a ton of great writers and directors to just throw their hat in the mix. We know that oh my god, I just had his name and I lost it. Oh, he's doing Swamp Thing for DC.
Oh, James Mangold. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, James Mangold is trying to get a Swamp Thing movie made with DC.
Yes,
Um I'm very interested in that one as well because Swamp Thing is
I
another
think
one
that's
of
fascinating.
those
Yeah.
classic monster movie kind of tales.
Yes.
I would be really curious to see what a James Gunn's universe would do with a character like Swamp Thing, especially after how comic booky Superman was.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for that. I think that's going to be a really cool way to go. And yeah, like you said, it's just like the fact that they're just allowing people to come in and pitch movies as long as they don't interfere with the universe at large. I think that's great.
But also, he
That's a
said
very
if it's good enough and it doesn't work in their universe, they can greenlight it as Elseworlds,
that's
like the
true.
Matt Reeves Batman
And
movies. They're
do
still
yeah,
gonna make those.
They're doing Elseworld Batman movies. They're doing. I'm assuming they're gonna continue doing Elseworld stuff beyond that, which is awesome. They did the Penguin show already. Love
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. That's that too. It's like we're gonna get movies and TV shows
Yeah,
that are
dude.
Elseworlds, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. I hope that he really commits to that part of it because I want a mainline DCU, but I also want people to be able to just make whatever the hell they want if it doesn't fall in line with his mainline DCU.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, the first Joker movie was a massive hit,
Yeah,
and the first Batman movie was a massive hit, so why not let them continue to make stuff like that?
right.
Um, okay, speaking of Batman,
Batman.
we have maybe an update. This is a theory that people are taking and running with.
Game
Um,
theory.
yeah. So Brandon Sklenar
Ah,
is
yeah.
an actor I'm not super familiar with. I know he's in one of the Yellowstone spinoffs, but I don't watch any of those shows, so I'm not familiar with him. It's kind of the same way I was with David Cornsweet. I know he exists, but I've never seen any of his stuff.
No, me neither.
So, uh, this is interesting that his trainer has been posting gym photos with him. Brandon
Yeah,
Sklenar is fucking massive right now.
yeah.
Like physically massive. He is shredded. And the trainer said that he is training for the biggest role of his career and has been liking comments of people theorizing that it's Batman. Brandon
That's
Sklenar is one of the
interesting.
most popular fan casts for Batman right now. And James Gunn has on record said that he is paying attention to fan casts.
Right.
Do you think there's
Yeah.
anything to this, or do you think it's just the trainers like trying to help him out and be like, "Ooh, people want you to be Batman"? Or do you think that there's a chance he is gonna be Batman?
I feel like it's more of a PR thing than anything, just because I can't see them casting a Batman this early. Because, like, Brave and the Bold is not ready to shoot at all whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure James Gunn has gone on record to say that the first thing that we'll see Batman in is Brave and the Bold. So I can't see why at all they would be casting Batman right now. Unless he lied
Unless,
and he will show up in something else sooner.
yeah. The only reason I don't think the first time we'll see Batman is gonna be in Brave and the Bold is because I think at some point we'll get a cameo of him in something. We have several other DC movies coming already. One of them is directly Batman related with Clayface.
Yeah.
So I do think that there is a chance that we will get a Batman cameo, and James Gunn has said multiple times that he knows what kind of Batman he wants. This is
Sure.
not going to be a Christopher Nolan, Matt Reeves grounded Batman. And I think if he has a tone and a personality and a look in mind already, they may be able to cast with a partial script. I
Maybe.
I know that goes against what he said because he did say several times that they will finish the script before they cast.
Yeah.
But I don't know because he also just said recently that they're fast tracking Wonder Woman. They're trying to get a Wonder Woman movie made.
Right.
And so I'm wondering if maybe he's like, "Oh shit, Superman is like kind of popping off. We need the Justice League." Like I wonder if
I
that's a
doubt that.
plan that's changing.
I feel like Wonder Woman is just something that he wants because the last Wonder Woman movie did not do well, and he's got a Batman movie coming up. Sure, it's not DCU, but they are making a Batman movie. It just got the script finished, and they're probably going to start shooting at the end of the year. So I won't be surprised if he doesn't fast track Batman at all. If he's going to hold off until Brave and the Bold is finished writing and they get ready to shoot that, and I don't know. I don't see any reason why Batman would show up in anything else. Just because, even with the Clayface movie, like I said, I think it's going to be very self-contained.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a huge Batman fight in Clayface under any circumstance. Like I don't. But I do think there's a chance maybe we get a Bruce Wayne cameo on like a TV or a newspaper or something of that sort. But I don't know if they would confirm the casting that way.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I think every time something like this comes up, that's what the whole internet says is like, oh, he's gonna show up on a TV somewhere, and people said that about Batman, uh, or people said that about Superman. People said that about the Joker movies. Like
Yeah, yeah.
people said that about a bunch of things, and it never happened. So I won't be surprised if James Gunn sticks to his word and does not cast a Batman yet. But again, I won't be surprised if he does cast Batman sooner for something that
Yeah,
we don't
if
know yet.
I think if there is somewhere they know for sure Batman is going to show up, they will probably have to cast him soon.
Fuck, they could throw him in Peacemaker season 2. Like
That would be
for all I know.
an insane place to reveal the Batman actor.
It would, but they did from Justice League at the end of that first season.
That's true. That's true. Maybe they'll do some wild shit where like Peacemaker's talking shit about Batman and then he turns around and Batman's there.
Like I can
That would
actually see that
legitimately
happening.
be so hysterical though.
Do he's right behind me, isn't he? But with Batman.
Yes. They've done that in a couple of the cartoons where like
Yeah.
they're I think it's like Hal Jordan or somebody he's talking shit about Batman. And
Yes.
then he's like he's right behind me, isn't he?
That would actually be awesome.
I think they could do that really well in the DCU. Like I've seen a lot of people talking about, oh, James Gunn's gonna make Batman funny, and he keeps saying he does not want a funny Batman. I think he's gonna make the other characters like interacting with Batman funny.
Yeah,
But I don't think
it'll still be
Batman is gonna
comedic
be
at some
George
times.
Clooney, Adam West.
Yeah. He's not
Like
gonna be cracking puns the whole time.
no,
Yeah.
no, he's not gonna be like, let me take out my bat credit card in my suit with my
Some
bat
days you just
nipples.
can't get rid of the bomb.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with the Brendan Sklenar guy to say whether I would like him as Batman or not. I do think it is kind of cool if they cast him because I'm not familiar with him. And that doesn't
That's,
it's
yeah.
kind of the same thing with David Cornswell. I haven't seen anything he's in other than Superman. So when I was watching the movie, I was like, that's Superman. There I don't have any preconceived
Like,
notion of him
I
as an
saw
actor.
him. I saw him in Pearl, which he was really good in. But yeah, like I don't have any one specific thing to latch onto him. So him being cast as Superman was perfect. Not only did he look and sound like the perfect version of the character, but like that's just Superman now because I don't think of him as anything else. And
Exactly,
it
yeah.
was easy to disconnect watching the movie. So yeah, I do agree that like out of all the like big fan casts, that one would be pretty cool because I don't know much about him.
Yeah, because like I've been on the Jensen Ackles train for a
Yeah,
while since I watched The Boys. When I caught up on that, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get why people are fan casting him now because his character in that is very kind of edgy and intimidating. And I kind of could see like, you know what, you put a Batman mask on this guy and it works. Like, but at the same time, it's like I do think there might be elements of his Batman where I'd be like, that's Soldier Boy.
sure.
And so I don't. I guess it would depend on how well they do the movie for him, because there is a way that, like, I guess he would be playing that character that I would lose myself in the movie and the world and everything and not think about that. But I think I would be more likely to be like that Soldier Boy, just because I'm familiar with him already. And I think
Yeah,
a lot of people will do the same thing with him in Supernatural. I was not like a Supernatural fan, so I don't really I know that that's what he's most famous for, but I
Yeah.
guarantee there's gonna be a lot of people. The Supernatural was pretty massive for a while, so
One of my
I'm sure there'd be a
favorites
lot of people who
is
would be like,
Alan
"Oh,
Richardson.
oh yeah,
One
yeah,
of my favorites is Alan Richardson, and but I think the same thing would happen where I feel like a lot of his performance would probably feel similar to Reacher, and then that whole new show. So I don't know. I can see the same thing happen where I kind of just see him playing Reacher and not really playing Bruce Wayne or Batman.
I agree. Yeah, that's kind of. I've never seen the Reacher show, but I've seen like a lot of clips from it and stuff.
Yeah, he's great in it.
And from what I've seen, he's really good in it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, other than his size and like the fight scenes, I don't get like a big Batman vibe from that. And
I
I
totally
I
agree.
just and it's only because I think he's almost like too fun, I think. If that makes sense. Like I almost like when I'm watching him beat the shit out of people, I'm like, "Oh, this is really fun and funny." And like I enjoy this, but I don't know. I know he is an intimidating guy. Like if he was trying to beat my ass, I'd be terrified. But I don't know. I don't get the dark and scary, edgy vibe from him. I get like the fun, protective guy, funny guy in the friend group kind of vibe from him. And maybe that's just me, but
Well, I think you need to actually watch the show first because I mean, that's definitely some part of his character, but not a lot of it.
the only stuff I see from that show are clips of him being a smartass to people
Yeah.
and and clips of him fighting. And then I've seen him on that what's it called? The football show he was on where he's like the college football player.
Yeah, I remember that.
Um oh, I don't remember what it's called now. Somebody will know. But yeah, no, when he was on that football show, he was hysterical. I have seen a
Yeah,
couple
he was
episodes of that
funny in
show and
that.
I've seen a lot of clips from it and he's very funny on that show. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just associating him with that stuff, but
Maybe. I mean, you could kind of say the same thing about a lot of Batman, like Michael Keaton,
yeah, yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like,
I mean Ben Affleck I only knew
he's
from the
in
Daredevil
comedies.
movie and like Kevin Smith movies and stuff like that. And
Yeah, exactly.
so when he was cast as Batman, I was one of the people that was like, I don't know about this. But when I saw
Yeah,
him, I think around that time was the first time I watched Gone Girl,
yeah,
and I was like, okay. And then when I saw him as Batman for the first time in the Dark Knight Returns suit and stuff, I was immediately sold. I was like,
sure, yeah,
yeah. So maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't want those actors as Batman
yeah,
because obviously, if any of them got cast, there's potential for all three of them to be great. So
right.
I I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I think Brendan Sconard though in that picture, he's getting in Batman shape, dude. He's in like superhero movie shape.
Yeah, that's true.
And like there's not a lot of actors that are willing to do that for just any role because it's so demanding and you have to be in the gym so
Right.
much and you have to eat so much and eat so healthy. So I don't know. Maybe he does have a big movie coming up and I mean it might not be Batman, but
Yeah, I
it
don't
is
know.
kind of weird that he's like one
That's
of
a
the
good
biggest
point.
fan casts for Batman right now and he's in superhero shape. So I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a good point. I guess we will find out soon or later. I don't know.
All right. Well, we have another thing to talk about. So get
We
excited, god damn
do.
it.
We do. Awesome.
Yes, sir. Um, so the Teen Titans script is currently going well. Um, the same writer who is writing Supergirl that is already filmed
Right, right, right.
is making the Teen Titans movie.
Right.
I am surprised that the Teen Titans movie is coming faster than Batman. I'm not
Crazy.
gonna lie. But
Fair.
it would be kind of an interesting way to introduce all the superheroes through their sidekicks.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, this has a potential. You could introduce Wally West as Kid Flash, and
Great.
or you could introduce him as the Flash,
Right.
and have like the other characters looking up to him as a Justice League member or whatever. There's other ways they could do that, but it would be kind of cool to see like maybe the first time we see somebody like Tim Drake is in the Teen Titans.
I could totally see them doing that.
What do you
He
think
doesn't.
the odds are that James Gunn gives us an Aqualad?
Aqualad, that would be insane.
Aqualad was in Young Justice,
That's true.
and he is kind of popular now. It would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't hate it. I think it would be awesome.
And it opens the door for them to do some really interesting stuff with Aquaman, because we haven't seen Aqualad on screen before.
Nope.
And if they do the second Aqualad, there's some pretty big twist stuff with who his father is and how he's interconnected with Aquaman's life, and it's pretty wild. So they could do some really crazy shit with that. Also, I want to ask you, because we know for sure that Shola Maridueña is staying as Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Do you
As far
think
as we
he
know.
will be in Teen Titans?
Ooh,
Because he is a major
maybe.
character in the Young Justice series.
That is very true.
I actually think
No,
it's very possible.
that is kind of interesting. I didn't think about that.
I think we may see Blue Beetle in the DCU for the first time in Teen Titans.
Maybe. If so, then hell yeah. I'm down for that. Because his movie was great. I really liked him as Blue Beetle, and I want to see more of that story and that character.
I agree. I absolutely loved him as Blue Beetle. I thought he did so great.
Yeah.
I do wish more people had seen that movie because damn, I want a sequel.
Yeah.
We do know though, actually, I think like a month or two ago, they did a little press conference thing at DC Studios, and they said
Yeah.
they are going to make an animated series that continues the story from that movie.
Really?
So it sounds like that movie might be canon.
Really? An animated series? I did not see that.
And if they're doing an animated series, it may be an animated series geared more towards kids.
Right.
And then maybe that's where we get the Teen Titans in, is that, he's the teenager, just got his powers. We tell more story in between that and his appearance in Teen Titans.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I like
hope
that.
I
I kind
hope
of
he's
like
in
that.
Teen Titans actually, because I liked his character so much and I want to see him sooner rather than later. I
Oh
don't
yeah, me too.
I don't want to see him show up when Sholo's like fucking 37 and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Blue Beetle." Like you know what I mean? Like let me have him as soon as possible as long as it works? Like
No,
I
yeah,
know
I
we're
agree. I
probably
don't
not
want
getting a
him.
Blue Beetle 2, but I don't want them to wait until he ages out of the role and then have him show up in some random DC movie and he's like a grown ass man. Because he's already
Exactly.
like, I don't even know, how old is he?
I think he's in his late 20s. I think around our age, maybe.
He's 24. He's younger than us.
Oh, younger than us.
All
Okay.
right,
I mean, that makes
he's
sense.
got
Yeah.
time. He's got time.
He's
We're
got
good.
time.
I do hope he's in Teen Titans though, because that would make me very happy. I kind of want them to do either the 2000s Teen Titans lineup with like Cyborg and Starfire and Raven,
Yeah.
or do the Young Justice lineup. And then in Young Justice, I think eventually they rolled Damian Wayne into that.
Oh, yeah, huh? That's true.
So they could do Teen Titans with Tim Drake. and have like a bunch
Perfect.
of other side characters, and then eventually roll Damian into the Teen Titans. Maybe Batman will put him there to be like, you need to learn how to work as a team, you little shit.
That'd be cool.
That would be really funny if that's like Batman's version of daycare. But he's like, this motherfucker got some behavioral issues. We're dumping him off. Like, you're going to summer camp.
Fucking summer camp. No, dude, for real. I don't know. I hope we get something like that soon. That'd be great.
All right. Well, what else is there? What else is there to talk about?
In terms of
Oh,
DC,
yes. I have this. I pulled up. I didn't even I got so sidetracked talking about the other stuff I forgot I pulled up this article. So,
how dare.
earlier today a bunch of people, a lot of trades and John Campia were posting this story that Superman 2 is being written right now by James Gunn.
Yeah,
This has been debunked by Deadline.
by deadline.
Yes. So,
Okay.
what he said was a fan asked him, now that Superman is out and the press tour is finished, do you have any time to relax? James Gunn
Yes.
responded, Peacemaker press and sequel writing. Okay.
Yes.
This guy responded and said, I'm a little confused right now. Is this the same movie you've talked about in the past, where you said Superman has a major role, but it's not a sequel? Or is this a different movie and this one is actually Superman 2? James Gunn replied, yes, sorry, this is the same movie. Superman has a major role. It's not Superman 2. So,
Interesting.
directly from James Gunn, it is not Superman 2.
Because I saw another comment on that where someone said, when are you going to tease Superman 2 or a Superman sequel? And he responded to that person saying, I just did.
I think this is just me speculating, okay? I think there is a chance James Gunn is currently writing a world's finest movie.
I think that is very possible.
I think that James Gunn's whole approach to this universe is kind of the opposite of Zack Snyder's. Where
Yeah.
Zack Snyder was like gods in the real world, this is like just comic book nonsense. I could totally see James Gunn doing a world's finest movie with Superman and Batman for the entire movie. And it'll
That'd be
be
cool.
the opposite of Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Superman is the opposite of Man of Steel. Now
Right.
we get the opposite of Batman versus Superman.
I like that.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way. I am a Zack Snyder fan. I don't want people to hear that and be like, "Oh my god, you guys are James Gunn dick writers." Like, chill out. It's not that deep. Um,
Of course it is.
um, but no, I do think there's a there's a possibility no, that we are getting a world's finest movie, or it's a team up with another superhero, maybe Mr. Terrific.
That'd be cool. I
But
kind of hope that is a world's finest movie or either one of those would be fucking sick.
the fact that he specifically says Superman has a major role, and
Yeah.
it's
Major
not
role.
it's a sequel but not a direct sequel. It's not Superman 2. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, it's continuing Superman's story in some sense, and James Gunn is writing it. So
Right.
the first thing I thought of was was World's Finest. Maybe it's a Supergirl Superman team up because we are getting
That
Supergirl
could
right
be.
away.
That's true.
Maybe it'll be Superman and Supergirl versus like Brainiac or something like that. I
That'd be
think that's
wild.
definitely a possibility that they'll do something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just wishful thinking because I am a Batman stan. The second he said it is a sequel, but it's not Superman 2, I was like, world's finest.
That would be cool.
Because I know James Gunn doesn't necessarily say it, but you can tell in some of the interviews that he's kind of irritated with how long some of the Batman stuff has been taking.
Yeah.
A lot of people were on his ass about Matt Reeves,
Oh yeah.
and he kept being like, it's not ready yet, they're working on it, it's not ready yet, they're working on it. And then finally he was just like, dude, Matt is slow. And I was like, damn. And I respect him
Yeah.
for his honesty because
Hey,
you
yeah.
know,
He has
like,
a reputation of being slow in the in the business, so
yeah, and I respect him for being honest and be like, dude, stop
yeah.
yelling at me, okay? It's him. And
Funny.
so I wonder if maybe he's like, you know what? If Brave and the Bold is gonna take 30 fucking years to get written, I'll just write my own. So we'll
I
introduce
mean, that's
Batman
something.
in World's Finest, and then whenever Brave and the Bold is ready, we'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too. That could definitely
And
happen.
that could allow them to introduce Batman as fantastical Batman fighting side by side with a fantastical Superman. And then they could get into their little like buddy comedy kind of like Superman talking shit to Batman because he's so serious all the time and stuff
That'd
like
be
they
pretty
could
good.
do a lot of fun stuff with that. Like they have a cartoon. I know we have talked about this before, where Superman gets shot with kryptonite,
Yes.
and Batman's like, I don't know if I can get the kryptonite out in time before your wound closes. And Superman like cracks a joke
So
and he goes, do me a favor and lose the sense of humor. And he goes, do me a favor and buy one.
buy one. Yeah.
And
I
I
can't
think
wait for
that's
that.
exactly what James Gunn is going to do with Batman and Superman in this
For
universe.
sure.
I think it's going to
Yeah.
be dorky, funny Clark is going to be like, bro, chill out. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so serious all the time, dude?
It's gonna be so good.
And it would be cool to just to be able to see their relationship on screen because
Yeah.
we haven't had any time to explore that at all, actually, now that I think about it, because
No,
the
not
Zack
really.
Snyder stuff is like as soon as they had an understanding, they killed Superman.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get Superman back until the end of Justice League, and then it was like they had to fight Steppenwolf. So there wasn't really any relationship between Batman and Superman in those movies.
Right. Yeah.
I kind of hope that it's World's Finest for that reason, actually, now that I think about it, because that would be really cool to see Batman and Superman kind of become frenemies, I guess. That they'd be like, you know, we're cool, but like stay the fuck out of my way.
Right. Yeah, that would be great. I always have wanted to see a Batman and Superman dynamic that's more like that. And yeah, like you said, like we get a couple of comedic scenes between the two, but like nothing that lasts
Yeah.
because Superman is immediately dead. So
I do really
yeah.
like that scene in Justice League when he's uh like he gives them the Kent family house back. And he's
Yeah.
like, how'd you get the house back from the bank? And he's like, I bought the bank.
About the bank. It's so good.
And it's funny because he's so serious when he says it. Like, and
It's like duh.
that's exactly what I want from
Uh,
those two. It's
yes.
like they have, I forget which cartoon it is, but in one of the cartoons they're like talking to each other in like the Justice League headquarters. And Superman says something about borrowing money or paying something back or something like that, and he goes, on a reporter's salary, yeah, right. Like like
So good.
Batman is literally just like, you're broke, dude. Like,
Roasting the shit out of him.
yes. And I like the way the cartoons handle Batman with the Justice League as well, which I think Superman's gonna, or not Superman, I think James Gunn is gonna do well with that relationship.
Yes.
Like that argument of Green Lantern being mad because Batman really is just a guy in a suit. And he's like, you don't have any powers. I think that would be so funny to be like
I
doing
can't
the
wait for
like,
that
oh,
shit.
he's right behind me, isn't he? Or like,
Yes.
why is he so scary? And like, and people being mad because he won't lighten up no matter how happy the day is. Like,
Yeah, man, I can't wait for Batman to be I can't wait for Batman to be used in a group setting that's not just him like yes, he's brooding all the time, but get some comedy in there. Like I love their dynamic with Superman or like yeah, that scene with Green Lantern being pissed that he doesn't have powers.
Yeah, because he's like, wait, you're not just a guy in a bat suit, are you? And then he just
Yeah.
smiles.
Smiles, yeah. That's one of the best scenes of Batman ever.
Yeah, I do want to see the dark elements with the Justice League as well, like him having
Of
the
course, yeah.
contingency plans to kill all of them if they get out of line and shit like that.
Yeah.
That all that stuff needs to be included in this universe. And I think James Gunn
For sure.
understands that because he's going so comic booky so hard right at the beginning. I think this was like I said with Superman, it feels like he's yelling, "This is DC." Like
Yeah.
we are not doing what the other people did. This is going to be fresh, it's going to be colorful, it's going to be goofy, it's going to be cartoony.
Exactly.
It's going to feel like the comics. And I think that his Batman will be the same way.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for kind of a Kevin Conroy Batman in this universe. I think James Gunn
Me too.
is going to give us the Batman who would hold a dying little girl's hand or
Yeah.
who would help Harley Quinn get back on her feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this and that I think would be perfect for a World's Finest kind of movie where Batman's
Yes.
not really a bad guy. He just is a little more jaded than Superman. so
Yes.
when they show up to a place, Batman is like, I'm gonna break this guy's fucking arm back. And Superman's like, dude, we could just like not do that. like why are you so violent? And then he's like, well, he was robbing this store. Like
It's like he has to die.
he's like, Batman's gonna like fold somebody's kneecap back, and then Superman's gonna be like, dude, like you didn't need to do that. And then they're gonna have that whole argument while the guy's screaming on the floor. That definitely feels like a James Gunn scene.
There's one character I want this Superman to interact with. It's Vigilante from Peacemaker.
Oh my god.
That'd be so fucking funny, dude. I know you haven't seen Peacemaker, but he literally talks about how he murders people for jaywalking. So funny.
I have seen a lot of clips of Vigilante from that show. And
It's so
it
good.
literally is like James Gunn's Deadpool, is what it feels like. It's so
yeah, honestly.
yeah,
Oh my god, I need to
that
see
would
that.
be really funny. Or like a Plastic Man or something like seeing Superman
Yeah.
interact with just like the filthiest, like disgusting fuckers in DC would be so funny.
Dude, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be so great. I have a lot of faith in the new DCU, and all this news is getting me hyped as shit.
I agree. I am so happy that we have this new universe here that's like I don't know, like and we'll get into it in our next episode because we're going to talk about Fantastic Four. But um it's so awesome to me that this year it feels like they're really embracing comic books.
I know.
Like especially in July. Like we got a Jack Kirby style Fantastic Four movie
It's beautiful.
and like a Silver Age Superman in the
I know.
same month. Like that's so crazy.
Insane.
I like I was literally like smiling for this entire month every time I thought
In
about
the
it because I was just
same
like, "Oh my god, we're getting colorful
month.
comic book movies that aren't afraid to do the weird sci-fi shit that's in the comics."
good.
Like it's so
I
perfect.
just can't believe that we're here.
Also, we may see James Gunn tap into some Jack Kirby as well
Yeah.
because don't forget about the New Gods and Darkseid.
Yep.
So
Jack Kirby.
we could be getting some Jack Kirby comic book goodness from both universes. That's all I'm saying.
Jack Kirby. Yeah. I hope so. I don't know how early they'll do like the new gods and dark side,
I think that'll
but
come later.
eventually, yeah, but not anytime soon.
I actually think, okay, what is your theory for where the first big team up is going to be? Because I have a theory.
First big team up,
Uh-huh. Like the
like
first
against two.
Justice League moment.
Mm, I think that'll probably be towards the end of chapter one, whatever that is, and I don't know.
I think that because James Gunn had all these ideas for like all of these other super teams that are like kind of bad people and stuff, I do think eventually they're going to build towards Kingdom Come, and it's going to be DC's version of Civil War.
I think that
But
would be cool.
I think the first time we're going to get the Justice League is going to be some kind of big sci-fi epic situation.
Yeah.
Because James Gunn said that the first clue as to where the overarching story is going is going to be in lanterns.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's
That is very
possible
true.
we may get a lanterns war in this universe with like
Hmm.
all the different colors.
Yeah.
And there is a really wacky big lanterns war like run where all of the Justice League get rings for different reasons.
That'd be insane.
So that we may get like actual like
Just
powered up Justice League.
the fucking lantern rings. That'd be insane.
We could get like
And
a Star Wars style in space Justice League with rings using their powers and the rings to do crazy shit.
it's wild.
If
That would
anybody's
be so
crazy enough
cool.
to do that, it's James Gunn.
Oh,
That
absolutely. And
seems
didn't
like
they
the exact
already?
kind of deep cut, massive swing that he would take.
I'm pretty sure they cast Sinestro, right? In the Lantern show?
Did they?
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. Ulrich Thompson. He was cast as Sinestro in January.
I am not sure if I'm familiar with this guy.
I'm not, but I remembered that they cast him. I could see it. I definitely see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen this guy before.
Uh,
If I have, I'm not sure.
Blacklist counterpart for the new Pope. James Bond film The World Is Not Enough. Okay.
He was in the 2011 The Thing.
Oh yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the actor, but they did cast the Sinestro already. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all if that's where they're going. That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
I hope that's
honestly,
true.
if
Make
that's
it
the
like
route they're
really
going,
different.
it would be super wild. Like,
Yeah,
it would be the most comic booky thing we've probably ever seen on screen. Like,
that'd be awesome.
if they're like, oh, everybody needs rings, we're gonna have to fight this war. The world is gonna end if we don't. And then they're like, Batman's a yellow lantern and the Flash is a blue lantern, and like that would be so crazy.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Watch Batman be like, I don't need superpowers. He's gonna go up there in a Batman Starfighter.
Bro, yes. Pull some Luke Skywalker shit.
Exactly. He's gonna be like, fuck your stupid jewelry. I'm Batman.
That would be awesome if he's the only one that doesn't have a ring and he doesn't even need it.
And I would love that. I would love that. It would honestly make Batman scarier too, because like if he
Hell
went up
yeah.
there and was fighting off all those lanterns in just like a regular spaceship, that would be insane.
Bro, I hope that's what happens. Give me that shit.
Watch them do like the fucking old school like Green Lantern is weak because of the color yellow,
Yeah.
and Batman's just gonna have the yellow bat logo.
Oh shit.
But yeah, no,
Give me
I
that
I
movie.
do think eventually we will get some kind of Kingdom Come story because they're using the
Feel
Kingdom
that.
Come
Yeah.
logo. They said that this is going to be Superman interacting with a world of superheroes he doesn't agree with.
Right.
And we did see elements of that in Superman when he's like, hey, you guys are running around, you're being careless. Like,
Yeah.
the Justice Gang is like knocking stuff down. Superman's having to save people. They're not even paying attention. So I could see that eventually getting to like this kind of civil war between superheroes that are like, dude, chill out. Like, like stop whining. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really curious to see where it goes. And yeah, I think that's a good show.
Okay, I have another question for you.
Hmm.
Do you think we will see any Justice League Dark members enter the universe anytime soon other than Swamp Thing?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised because he says that in that first announcement, um, he said all the announcements weren't even all of chapter one. So there's still stuff that needs to be announced, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a like Constantine. I don't know about Constantine, but that'd be cool.
That reminds me, actually, James Gunn said that there is an A-list actor who keeps coming to him with a script that's not quite right.
Yeah.
I think it's Keanu Reeves.
You think it's Keanu Reeves?
He said like a year or two ago that the character he wants to play again the most is Constantine, and that he was working with the writer from the first movie again.
Yeah, wasn't there like a soft announcement of like Constantine 2 that like never happened?
It was basically that the script was in pre-production, so it was like
Yeah,
they didn't even get greenlit yet. So it's not a
right.
guarantee, but it was like, hey, they're letting the fans know we are trying to make this work.
Oh,
So
you think
I
he's
think
trying to
I
get
think
into
it's
the
Keanu
DCU?
Reeves. I think
That'd be
he's like, hey, can
crazy.
I be Constantine? Please let me be Constantine.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool
I
if they just brought him back.
I'm kind of torn on it because I do think the first Constantine movie is kind of cool. I don't really think we need a sequel. And
I don't
I mean, there's always the chance
need
that
it,
it could be
but
some
it'd be fun.
insane, incredible fucking sequel that's way better than the first one, but there's always that chance. But
Yeah, sure.
I don't would James Gunn take the risk of making Constantine a like 25-year-old Constantine movie tie-in? You know what I
Sequel,
mean?
yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
honestly,
I
yeah.
don't think so. I
I
think if
doubt
he
it.
casts a Constantine, it's going to be somebody new that's going to be more like the comics.
It's a shame because the guy in the CW show is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
He
he's
was a
really
great
good.
Constantine. He was like perfect for that.
I My fan cast right now for Constantine is Charlie Hunnam.
I think that makes the most sense.
After
Yeah.
seeing The Gentleman,
Yeah.
I think he would be really good as
Yeah,
Constantine. He's kind of that
that's a
snarky
good one.
asshole. He
Yeah, that's a
naturally
good
has the English
movie.
accent and the blonde hair already. And we know from things like Sons of Anarchy and stuff that he can play the kind of tough guy very well.
Yeah.
So I could see him very easily slipping into that role of just chain smoking cigarettes and doing some dark ass
Yeah.
Doctor Strange type shit all the time.
I agree. That would be awesome.
I think we will get maybe Zatanna in possibly Teen Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
I think I don't know if it's true because I haven't done too much research into it, but I heard somebody say that they thought Zatara was on the mural in the Hall of Justice.
Well, James Gunn like released the official like picture of it, and I don't remember seeing Zatara, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I would have to look
That'd
into
be
that,
cool.
but that would be really
Yeah.
cool if Zatara's like a Justice Society member, and then his kid grows up to be a Justice
Part of
League
the
member.
Titans or Justice League. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would like that.
I do think it would be cool if James Gunn does like the multiple teams though.
I
Like
think
we
it's
have
possible.
the
Yeah, for sure.
Justice League with all of like the
The
the whole
mainline
universe
characters.
is at
Yeah.
stake, and it's the Flash and Batman and all that.
Yeah. But then
But
you have the teams like
yeah, then you
for
have
the smaller
Justice League
threats.
Dark, where
Yeah.
it's like we gotta go to hell and fight a demon. So
Yeah.
get Constantine and get Zatanna and get all these people, and then we're gonna go. We need Doctor Fate. You know what I
That
mean?
would be cool. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I'm super excited for the DCU. I can't wait till this shit really kicks off.
I agree. I am very much looking forward to how wacky this universe could be. You know,
Heck yeah.
James Gunn introduced a lot of really wild shit to the MCU. And
Yeah.
already in just Superman, we've had so many insane concepts.
I know.
I I am so excited to see what is going to happen with this universe, especially with Supergirl,
Yeah.
because
Coming
we
soon.
all we have for that so far is a poster, and we know that Lobo is going to be in it, and that's about it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so I do think that that is going to be like a really cool movie. I think
Yeah.
they can do some really interesting stuff with that we haven't seen on screen before, and it'll be cool to see a superhero sci-fi epic kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, but more serious.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I don't think other than Guardians have we ever had a superhero movie that's entirely in other planets and other galaxies and stuff.
No, not that I could think of.
I don't yeah, I can't think of any either.
I mean,
So
I guess
that's
Infinity War kind of counts.
sort of, but there's still a very
In a way.
large portion of that that's on Earth.
That's true.
I mean, it's in a fictional country in Africa for part of it, but
Yeah.
but still, it's like on Earth. There's like a lot of stuff going
Right.
on in New York, and I, other than the Guardians movies, I don't. Yeah, I can't think of any either that are like entirely off world.
Yeah, that movie's about to be crazy with all the like set design and the alien creatures that he was able to come up with for Guardians. That's gonna be wild.
Yeah, that movie's gonna be cracked out.
I can't wait for that.
The real question is, will Nathan Fillion cameo in every movie?
Almost definitely yes.
He'll be different characters or just a voice
Yes.
somewhere.
It'll be a CGI monster
Like
or
at all
something.
three Guardians movies, I think he cameos in.
He played a different character,
But
yeah.
he's a different character where it's either an alien or whatever. And then the third one
I
is
forget
actually
who he
Nathan
was
Fillion.
in the second one.
I don't know. Was he in Guardians 2?
Because I remember his character in the first one, and I know he's in the third one. I can't remember the second one. He might have been just like a voice.
Oh, he played a side character named Simon Williams, but it was cut from the movie. James Gunn
Oh
shared
yeah,
a
I
picture
remember.
of him
Yeah,
in
I
like
remember seeing
like
this.
the space Viking clothes with the long hair.
Is he like a
But it was
Ravager or
cut.
something?
I think so, maybe.
Part of like Sylvester Stallone's team, probably. That's funny. He looks ridiculous. I love it. So that's why he put him in the third one as like a full face cameo. Because his last one got cut. Okay. That makes sense. Awesome.
Okay, so the reason it was cut is because Simon Williams is Wonder Man. And
Oh.
so that character was completely
Him
scrapped
as
and
Wonder
cut
Man?
from the movie he was going to be the douchey actor version of Wonder Man,
Huh.
and it didn't work out, and so Marvel had him cut it. And I wonder if that's because
Crazy.
we're now getting Wonder Man this year.
I mean, yeah, we're getting it, but that was so long ago. That must have been like a.
Maybe they just
That's
didn't want to
crazy.
throw the character away for a cameo.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do think it's
Cool.
possible we're gonna get James Gunn putting Nathan Fillion in like everything though.
Oh yeah.
Like Nathan Fillion's gonna play
It's
like
almost
4
guaranteed. Yeah.
aliens in Supergirl, and they're all
I
gonna
won't be
sound the
shocked.
same. All
Yeah, I
right.
won't be shocked. Okay.
I don't know if there's any more DC news off the top of my head.
No, not that I can think of.
I know it's terrible. We're gonna end this episode and then like remember something. But
No, we're gonna end this episode and then they're gonna announce Batman's actor.
dude, literally, we're gonna be editing this and it's gonna come out and we're gonna be like, fuck.
Yep.
Nah, the
Guarantee
day
it.
that gets announced, there's gonna be a whole episode about just that. I'm
No,
telling you
but they
right now.
are starting to shoot Brand New Day. Like it starts today.
Yes, that is true. So we might be able to do an episode soon about maybe a new Spider-Man costume or something.
According to a couple of people online, which is, take it with a grain of salt, but according to a couple of people, we're gonna get like an official drop of something tomorrow.
Ooh, okay. We'll keep an eye out for that.
So since they're building sets right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it is a suit reveal so that it doesn't get spoiled in set leaks.
Well, hey, we are doing Marvel stuff next episode. So
True.
hopefully if
So
they
we can
drop it, we
hold
can
off
do
on
our
that.
our Fantastic Four review. I almost said our fantastic review of the four, like
It is fantastic.
but we're gonna
Say
do
that
our
again?
Fantastic Four review with spoilers, like we just did with
Yeah.
this, and
Yeah, yeah,
then we'll
yeah, yeah.
talk about Marvel news for that episode.
Sir.
And then moving forward, we'll probably, mix a lot of stuff together. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we will leave the episode there.
Hell yeah, dude.
Be on the lookout for our Fantastic Four episode. We will most likely be talking about any Spider-Man news that drops in that video. Be sure to check out our other channels. Snowcon's got 2 channels, Snowcon Media and Snowcon Gaming.
Yarp.
And I have my main channel, which is the Teleworker. I have been live streaming a lot on there, but I also do videos. I started doing only videos for a very long time. I've been doing it for like 5 years, so there's like 400 videos on that channel for you guys to watch. And I also have a reaction channel that I really don't post to as much as I should. But
Totally
yeah,
do it.
so you guys can find me at either of those channels, and I guess that's it. We'll see you guys later.
See you later. Bye-bye.